Good morning,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to our channel. This video is about the 5 easy hacks to having a successful, easy nomading journey. There are 5 things that will make it much easier for you to achieve your nomading dreams. And we're gonna list them out and hopefully they help you. Nomading and traveling around to different cities.
Speak up a little bit.
Y'all have been like nomading and traveling around, and like how are you able to do that and afford to do that?
Do you invest in Bitcoin early?
I wish. I feel like I should have like a tattoo under my arm. To cover.
I like a face tattoo.
I think it would be good. I think it accentuates the eyebrow.
Yeah.
So.
Thing is, we're substituting rent. Let's back it up, because you can't afford it if you're in vacation mode. Like it's basically like whatever you're paying in rent, that needs to cover living expenses. We have not lived this lifestyle cheaply.
So you can save money and then use that money to travel with. And then the alternative, which Jordan is describing, is take a sheet of paper and then like list out your expenses for the month for wherever you live. And people who live in more expensive cities will have big, like their number will be higher. Like we lived in DC, and DC is like at least one of the third most expensive cities. Okay, we're paying $2,300 I think by the end for like pure rent, and then like $150 for parking, and then like $100 for electricity bills, and then like travel and the metro and food, and then you also add in your unfixed costs, like what you pay for entertainment, how often you go to the movie theater, how often you go to the clubs, how often you buy drinks, what do you spend on weed, stuff like that. So you list that number, and then you say, okay, this is the number that I am able to pay, or that I successfully pay each month. So then that becomes your budget. Like that's like an easy way to just deduce a budget that you have for traveling. And then you start to route out maps that can be under that budget. The flights we've taken, we also have a car, so sometimes you can drive to the places that you want to go, and then it only costs like the gas that it takes to get there.
I think we should be upfront though about some of the privileges that enable this.
Okay, let's go through a list of privileges that will make it much easier to nomad.
Having a car.
Having a car will make it easier to nomad. Granted, we actually have really mostly flown to the places we have been nomading, because so we were like, okay, well, so that's number 1, having a car. Number 2, I think having a home base. So like having the privilege of like being able to like use a parent's house or a relative's house as like a home base.
Or friend if they've got a basement.
Yeah, because otherwise you have to be going from experience to experience, like you're paying constantly. And we started in August, it's November, like we definitely have spent a good amount of time like just being at my mom's house in between our travels. When we get like tired or we don't want to like go right into another place, we're sitting there. So like that's a privilege. If you don't have that, then like your next trip, like your costs continue. And
on top of that, having friends in the places you want to go to stay with.
Yeah, because use up that first.
Yeah, use that first, cash in on your friendships, and in good ways, because like it's post-COVID, people want to see each other. Like we haven't stayed with anyone who has made us feel like unwelcome. In fact, they've all been like, stay longer. And everyone we reach out to in other cities, like, stay with us, stay with us.
People can stay with.
I got to stay. They entered New York.
Then DC, when I went back to DC.
Yeah, DC. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot. Also, the privilege of miles and having credit.
Yeah, having credit.
I'm like a Puritan when it comes to credit cards.
Yeah. Does that mean you were like bad at it?
Basic.
Is that offensive? I have ADHD, so like I got really into the air miles, like which credit cards work, which don't, and then started like accumulating points. And so when we had to fly, we used those points Also, like in terms of the air miles and stuff like that, like benefits, elite status things.
Let's also emphasize that when you got the platinum card, that gave us like 10x points on like groceries and gas. Again,
Yeah.
we only got it over the summer. And we accumulated, plus with like the welcome bonus and all those points.
So many American Express points.
Like that Amex stack just got us hundreds of thousands of points. So that's a huge privilege.
We just went through American Airlines. I do not recommend American. It's just not
Never
my
again.
favorite. But
Yeah.
like Jordan had
Until
like
next week.
leftover points because of some other disaster American Airlines.
They
he
left
had.
me on a tarmac for an hour and gave me 50,000 points.
Damn!
The most amazing thing happened. Like we were checking our bag, and this lady had already like shamed us for not being like elite priority first class, because she was like, oh, y'all look first class, but guess you gotta go down there.
What? What the fuck?
And so we went and did the bag drop, and the guy was like, your flight is gonna leave soon. And there was some confusion, I think, because like the American Airlines had just like grounded like 1,000 flights the other day.
Oh my God.
And like our flight was delayed, and so it actually wasn't immediately about to leave, but he was like, your flight's about to leave, come with me. And then when we got in, we realized like, hey, this isn't a pre-check line. And so we were like, excuse me, ma'am. Yes, we did immediately cut this line, but like I really don't want to take my shoes off, and like we have computers all up and through these bags. So like, here's our pre-check thing. So she went back and got us a pre-check thing, and even though my jewelry was setting off or whatever, but like we got through
Oh my
very
God,
quickly.
you went through the metal detector like 18
Yeah, a bunch of times. And they were like, dude, don't take off your jewelry.
with 5 chains.
So we get through. So like that was a real benefit. Privilege number
Privilege
4.
number 4.
Having a job that allows you to work remotely. It does feel like it goes without saying, but like if you don't have a job that do remote work or live nomadically, my job like doesn't have an office, so like everyone's remote, and everyone is also like not in the same geographic location or time zone. So if everyone was like on the East Coast, then it would really cause problems with just me being. But like I think people are a little scattered out. And Jordan also works remotely, because if you do have to continually go to conferences, be in different state, like it's gonna be tough. Like I have a retreat coming up, and that required us to like that we've had to fix that in our plans to make sure I was at the retreat. So if I had to constantly be traveling for work.
If that's your idea of nomading, going from place to place, trust me, you will burn out very quickly.
We went to a lot of places.
We were doing a lot of places, kind of like week to week, 2 weeks here. And maybe your constitution is, I'm just gonna hop around. I did that for a while in my early 20s. And even with that level of energy, I was burnt out. We just can't do that now. So
we're not naked for no reason. We're actually at a clothing optional Mr. B&B. So
yeah, but I also don't usually wear clothes, so this feels right at
also
home.
be a video like how to choose the places you want to live.
It's about, how do I make this as financially sound as possible, but how do I make my experience of travel as easy as possible and as enjoyable as possible? Because it is about the journey and going from place to place and making that fun and interesting. And if it's a burden, and if it's a headache, and if the logistics are all over the place and you get then you're gonna hate it. So you want to set yourself up with miles, with points, with knowledge. Do your research, prepare yourself, because it is fun, but you got to do some stuff on the front end to enjoy it.
Just recap.
Yes.
How to make nomading easy. 1, look at your budget and try and keep your nomading in that budget. 2, take advantage of cities where you have friends who can support your accommodations. You don't have to pay. 3, have a car. If you have a car, nomading will be easier. 4, take advantage of credit card points. 5 was have a job that allows you to freely travel. Those are the like 5 benefits or 5 privileges that allow you to like easily nomad.
Or allow us to
nomad. So thanks for watching this video. If you have other questions, ask them in the comments, because I guess this will be on YouTube, so you can ask them on the comments, ask us in the comments, and then like subscribe, because I think this is like our first video that we'll be posting. It was a very, very vivid lucid dream, and it was about like Vicky had a son and like didn't really like want him, and something happened, and currently I was working at some like department store, but I was like stealing people's like bags. Like if someone came in with a nice bag, I would figure out a way to like steal it, and like they wouldn't know it was me. But then like Vicky's son got left somewhere, and then I decided like I had to raise him in my like loft apartment that was like, and he was like, I remember when I finally was like, okay, you'll be staying with me, and then I remember he peed on the carpet, and I had to like take him to the toilet and be like, no, this is how you pee. And I was like,
I had to take him to the vet.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard. And then like the second I was like, wait, where's Jordan? Then I woke up. And I was like, oh.
And I was holding two mics because they kept pushing us back to the stage. I was like, why do we keep moving back? I had to keep adjusting the microphones. I'm holding two microphones, so then one of them falls down and makes that sound. But the song, we're just doing this. And it was like, oh, reach out.